Friday, Buzz City. We are in the holiday spirit. I'm sure you can tell. I'm sure rocking it. I'm sure a handful of you have already started your holiday travel, and as soon as we conclude our 5-game homestand, we're on the same page as you guys. But tonight we need to close out this 5-game homestand against the Pistons. We're already 2-0 against them. Looking forward to a win again tonight. I'm Erin Pitzenberger for Hornets.com. That's Matt Ryczinski, and this is the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. All right, Matt, game day special as always, and I hear we have a little bit of a festivities going on for it.
Hopefully, right now it is National Ugly Sweater Day, as a matter of fact. As you can see, Erin's rocking her ugly sweater. Get on HornetsFanshop.com right now. Pick up your ugly sweater because you can still get it here by Christmas. Yes, it's a Christmas miracle, folks.
Really?
If you order today,
wow,
you can still have it delivered by Christmas Eve. So if there's that Hornets fan in your life who just needs more gear to get ready for January, February, those months coming up, make sure you get that ordered by today. But tonight's the last chance you can do that in order to get it shipped here by Christmas Eve. You can also get 25% off Jordan Brand merch, which is a pretty good deal for Jordan Brand merch.
I hope you all are as impressed by this as I am, because that's actually the first time that I've heard that. If you can get that shipped by Christmas Eve,
that's what it says. It's written
that's
down.
Incredible.
So I hope that's true.
I love it.
Make sure you do it.
Hey, you know what? We'll try it out.
Yep.
I actually kind of want to get one. I need to get another one. This one's from last year. You can't have too many ugly sweaters, so I'm really looking forward to that.
We're not sure if this is the one that's on there right now or not. We forgot to look before we started. It might be this one. It might be a different one, but there's some cool Hornets ugly sweaters out there.
All right. Well, speaking of the holidays and excitedness, we're actually going to change the subject completely.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about our homestand so far. We're 2-2. We have a chance to close this homestand out with a win. Let's talk about Wednesday's game against the Cavs. It started out a little rocky in the first half, but it seemed like we kind of pepped up our game in the half and then pulled out the win in the end. What did you have to make of it?
It was absolutely terrifying, folks, to see the way we started that game. I'm just going to be honest. To see the way we came out in the first quarter and only scored 16 points, we talked about it on this show. What did we need to do to win that game? Come out strong. We did not come out strong, and it did not look good in the first half. The only thing that was good about the first half was, as badly as we played, we were still only trailing by 6 at the break, so that we were still in the game, had a chance to win it. But the third quarter, completely different Hornets team. I don't know what was said at halftime. Every guy referenced it and said that they kind of did checks on themselves. I don't think it was really Coach Borrego getting on these guys. From the sounds of it, it was the players getting on themselves to make sure they get this ship righted after the back-to-back losses, and they did that.
And we saw a spurt out of Kemba Walker in that third quarter. He scored 17 of his 26 points in that third quarter alone. So you can tell that the captain was motivated, and in turn, it'll motivate everybody else on that team.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because I had a chance to listen to the broadcast, and Gerald Henderson was on the broadcast this past time, and it was good to hear from Gerald Henderson because he was saying that Kemba came out at the start of the second half and walked over to him and was like, I can't get it going. And Gerald told him, just take one to the rack. Do what you do best. Try and get one, convert, either get fouled, maybe you'll get to the free throw line, find your rhythm. And Kemba did. I mean, he just took over in the third quarter. It was the Kemba Walker we all love to watch, the Kemba Walker who absolutely just can destroy a game and get hot, and you just want him to have the ball in your hands. And every single time that they came down the court, his teammates were able to find him, and for him to score 17 in the third, it was just an absolutely amazing performance from Kemba again.
In my walk-off with Nick Batum, he mentioned that the team did have a couple of days off, and for him personally, he kind of had a little bit of a wonky time in the first half, kind of getting the groove of things, but then after half, as soon as he got 2 quarters under his belt, he was able to go. How much of that do you think that really affected the entire team?
I think it really does. I mean, as much as a 2-day break, 3-day break actually is what they ended up having, is good for a team to have to kind of regroup. There's something to be said for playing consistent basketball. When you're not playing for 4 days, you can get off to a slow start. That's definitely what we did. The guys did need to find their rhythm, needed to find their groove. Going down, and then when you're trying to do that and you go down a little bit early and you're kind of having those last 2 games in the back of your mind and it starts kind of getting into your head, man, maybe we're not going to be able to right this ship tonight. Maybe this is not the game. These guys needed that extra time to figure this out, and I wish I was in the locker room at that time. I really do. I wanted to hear what was said because I guarantee there were some strong words said by Kemba, by Tony Parker, the leaders on this team, maybe Marvin Williams. But whatever they said, they got these guys in the right shape.
Well, regardless of that rocky start, it had a happy ending. Yes. Let's take a look at these highlights.
And let the defense loosen up and then bring him back to the ball. Trust his teammates to He'll get back to the ball. There's a nice aggressive drive by Nick. Confidence after the tip-in win last night. Nice clean ride up from Indiana.
Beautiful left-handed shot, Jeremy Lamb. He stopped playing. Clarkson's more concerned about this contact on the floor than the action, and the Hornets get a layup. It's a contact. They're disposable. Down by Jeremy Lamb.
I was not going to win that fight against Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
With the left hand, Jeremy Lamb. Everyone really likes this Osmond kid. Batum, baseline three for the Frenchman, and the Hornets back on top. Shot clock down to 4. Cody with 2 hands. Nice pass by Batum. Now Lamb against Clarkson, dumps it over FKG.
About a catch by FKG.
With San Antonio last year. Spent the year in the G League, never got any sniff with the Spurs. Marvin Williams behind the defense. Shot missed by Burks. Hornets with numbers, 4 on 3. And Parker hung in the air long enough to draw the contact, and he's got a chance for tres.
Always under control right there. Tony Parker looked like he wanted to pass this ball to find an open guy, but a shimmy with a live dribble, fades to the right, gets the reach it.
Oh, Parker didn't know where it was, but pick it up and score! Just gorgeous. Rodney Hood lost it. Kemba bounce pass.
Always nice to see a win.
Oh.
Always nice to see it. Looking forward to seeing that tonight. But as we're getting closer, there's only 4 more days until Christmas, you guys. I personally am not prepared by any means. Unfortunately, you know, we don't have too much time. We've been knee deep in games, not saying that I'm not loving it, but at the end of the day, you look back at the calendar and you're like, oh man, where has the time gone?
Yeah, I can't believe Christmas is just a few days away. And we were talking about it in the office the other day. We haven't had that kind of natural break of games.
Right.
December has been so heavy here at home. Like you said, it's been great to see. We've got a chance to see our guys play. Man, I need to do some shopping too. And it's Friday, and I don't have much time left. And tomorrow I'm going shopping with 2 of the young girls because they need to buy their sisters presents and stuff like that. And I saw on the Today Show this morning that tomorrow is considered National Freakout Saturday shopping. Like 134 million people are going to be shopping tomorrow. I need to possibly think about just getting on HornetsFanshop.com and getting that shipping here.
Nice
so that
plug.
it'll be here by Christmas Eve. We'll see what it goes. But no, I'm going to go out with the girls tomorrow and brave the crowd. Hopefully no one will be fighting with us for anything. We're just going to, get the small gifts for the kids, so that shouldn't be too bad.
Small gifts. Now, for those of you that don't know, Matt Raczynski has 5 girls. 5 girls. So his holiday season is chaotic, I can only imagine. What are some things right now, and you don't have to give it away if your daughters are watching right now. We won't give away what you're buying, but what are some hot items for kids and girls that are kind of in their age range?
I think the biggest thing for us is we're kind of hit that transition between we're not buying as many toys or anything. It's the question isn't for toys anymore, and the girls are growing up and it kind of saddens me, but they're all asking for things that are much more expensive. iPads, iPhones, computers, Polaroid cameras, all of these things. They're all great, but man, do they all cost a pretty penny. And when you've got 5 of them and they all want them, I might have to start. Anybody want to buy this coat? Maybe we'll see what we can do that could help out. But they're excited for it. They're beyond excited. And the thing I really love about my kids, all 5 of them, is that they get into wanting to do things for other kids too. And we make them do stuff for not only for Toys for Tots, I always make them pick out a toy and give that away, but just for them to shop for their sisters and know that they've got a chance to make somebody else's day. And it feels like the hardest thing they have to do is shop for dad or for mom or for stepmom or whatever it might be. It's tough to find those for us older ones for those kids because they got great ideas for their sisters. They have no idea what to get me. And I have no idea what to get me either. So.
Well, let's take a look back in a memory lane for you. When you were a kid growing up, was there anything in particular that you really, really wanted? Were you like Ralphie, who really wanted that Red Ryder BB gun? Or was there anything in particular growing up that you were like, I really wanted?
The thing I really wanted, I remember wanting horribly as a kid and actually getting, Santa brought it to me and I was the happiest kid ever, was the G.I. Joe kind of good guy home base. It was, I remember it was gray and it had turrets and it had all these different working parts, and I was huge into G.I. Joe, so that was great. Santa put it together. It was awesome. I didn't have to do it myself. Didn't ask that mom or dad for help. It worked out really well. The one thing that I never got, if we want to go down sad memory lane for this point, was I always wanted a Voltron, man. I always wanted all 5 lions so I could make the big Voltron. And then everybody got into Power Rangers as we got older.
Oh, okay.
Power Rangers isn't, that's not it. Voltron was the thing first. It was Voltron.
I think I started out in the...
5 lion Voltron out there they want to bring to me. Make my day.
No over my head. See? Not quite sure. Not quite sure. But hey, like you mentioned, this is the season of giving, and not only are your girls looking to giving back into the community, but our team, our organization is as well. Yep. Within the organization, we have the Adopt a Family program where our employees get to buy gifts for families in need. And recently, we had Jeremy Lamb build gingerbread houses with kids, and we had a shopping spree at Walmart. We do so many things, and just recently, Frank Kaminsky and Miles Bridges and our COO Pete Gwelly went out to Food Lion, and they went on a shopping spree for a couple of very fortunate families. Let's take a look.
There's a lot of us who are just fortunate to be in a position to do something like this, and I thought coming to Food Lion, we've had a great partnership. It'd be fun to surprise some people and maybe make their holidays just a little bit more special.
We've done a couple of things now, but we've given back to the community this holiday season. Shopping with a family. Taking them around, getting them stuff for the holidays. Not everyone's as fortunate as we are, so it's just nice to get back to the community and do our little part. Whether it's an hour out of our day to come here and shop with a family and help them get the things they need, it's a great thing.
It just means a lot. It's hard because you'd like to do so much for so many people, but this is really an opportunity to kind of get up close and really get to know somebody and find out what they're doing over the holidays and how maybe you can contribute and help a little bit. So it was rewarding to grab a couple people and say, hey, would you give me the honor of buying your groceries and trying to make the holidays a little bit maybe different and special. And I'd be honored if you'd let me pay for your groceries today.
Are you positive?
I'm absolutely positive. I'm not kidding at all.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You can tell from the second we walked in just how important this is to them. How excited they are, how much this means to them and their family. Just to go to the grocery store and be able to get a bunch of things that you need, things that don't necessarily come easy to a lot of families. It's just a blessing for us to be able to do it.
Ever since MJ bought the team, we made a really concerted effort to do more in the community and the marketplace, and people have really responded to it, and I think it's been a huge part of our success. And it's just really, as a franchise in Charlotte, it's just the right thing to do.
There's countless others in the Charlotte community that look up to us, and whatever we can do to just play our little part and do what we can do to help give back is an amazing thing.
You're the best. Thank you. Thank you very much. May God continue blessing you guys.
We are now joined by rookie Miles Bridges. You know what? I feel weird calling you a rookie still because it seems like you're so way beyond your years already, and you've only been in the NBA for a couple of months. Now, sitting down here, we just got back from the Food Lion Feeds video. Tell us about that time being with that family and taking them shopping.
Yeah, it was great. I was with a lady named Rosa. It was great. We were just going shopping. She was getting a lot of food products. Yeah, I had fun.
Now, being able to do that in the league, what does that mean to you? That not only are you making an impact on the court, but when you're off the court, you're also impacting the community here.
That just shows that we're more than basketball players. We like to help out the community, help out the people. We don't just care about ourselves, and I want to continue to do that.
For you now, we know you've gone shopping with some others. Have you done shopping for yourself yet? Have you gotten everything taken care of that you need to get taken care of? Because it is only 4 days away from Christmas at this point.
I see the stress in his eyes already.
We're not ready. We've admitted it. We're totally not ready.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't got any gifts.
All right, good. See? Good start.
I'm going to be pushing it.
Well, gift cards. That's always the easiest thing to do at this point in time, right? All right, what do you want for Christmas? If we were going to get you something, Miles, what would you want to have?
Well, I love music, so just give me a Beats pill and some headphones.
All right.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty easy.
Is that what you picked up for the White Elephant gifts that the players are going to be doing here?
Nah, it's a surprise. It's a surprise, right? Surprise.
Can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Now, growing up as a kid, was there anything in particular, we were just talking about this earlier, any toy or any gift that you had in particular growing up that you really, really, really wanted and can remember getting?
I'll have to say PS2. PlayStation 2.
It's one to remember,
that
for
my
sure.
dad got for me. That was my first game system. Ever since then, I've been a game freak since then.
Awesome. Do you have any holiday traditions with your family?
No, we just sit at home and eat the whole time.
Favorite meal? Favorite holiday meal?
Macaroni and cheese,
Ooh.
by far.
Mac and cheese. You went simple. That's solid. All right, we had a chance to talk to Marvin Williams. He wrote his captain's blog on Wednesday, and in it, we asked him, hey, what would you get these guys for Christmas, for some of your fellow players? He said Kemba, he would get some sort of a trip or something like that. But I said, what about these young guys? What about these rookies and these sophomores and these folks? What would you get for them? You know what he said?
What?
Do you have any idea? He said he would get each of you a nice 3-piece suit. Because he's not sure that any of you guys have worn a suit since your draft night, your respective draft nights. Tell us, clear this up. Is Marvin accurate?
Yeah, it's definitely accurate. I'll probably wear a suit in the future, but right now I'm not wearing a suit.
Well, the good news is I'm sitting right next to you, and you have the opportunity. You could wear this wonderful jacket tonight if you want it. No, he's not on it. He's not buying. So, what would you get some of the players on your team? If you look at Kemba, what would be a great Christmas gift for Kemba?
Kemba. Well, I just gave him my jersey from college. He collects those type of things. So I'll probably just give him another one of my jerseys. Jeremy Lamb, I'll get him a new pair of jeans.
Are his current jeans not okay?
Yeah, he's got to get his swag up. So I'm going to give him a new pair of jeans.
He hasn't been on the show yet, so we can't. Yeah. He probably won't see this. So yeah, keep going. Yeah. Lay it on.
Devontae, I'll probably take him to a barbershop.
Devontae to a barbershop. When was the last time you think? Well, he gets it kind of trimmed up a little bit, but he just kind of lets that thing grow like a plant.
It's getting too wild. It's getting too wild.
A little bit too wild. All right. Well, we're heading into tonight. We're closing out this 5-game homestand, taking on Detroit. Want to talk just briefly about the game on Wednesday. Kind of a rocky start, like we were talking about earlier, but you guys managed to pull through and get that win at the end. What was said at halftime in that locker room to motivate everybody to get that win?
This is our defense. We're being too soft on the defensive end. Kemba, Marvin, Tony, they really got into us about playing defense, and they came out in the second half, the starting 5, and they really set the tone for us. So when we came in the game, we didn't have any choice but to lock up.
And when you see Kemba, when you see a rookie like that kind of when you see a veteran like that leading the rookies by example, how much does that motivate you, seeing that he scored those 17 of his 26 points in that third quarter to bump everybody up?
That just shows you what type of leader he is. He wants us to follow him. And it's easy to follow him when he's doing that type of stuff on the offensive end and on the defensive end.
Coach also shortened up the rotations. I mean, obviously he addressed it in his postgame. We all saw it in the game. What was his message to you guys, especially some of the younger players, as he kind of shortened that bench?
Yeah, well, to make the rotation, you got to play defense. That's what he's really stressing right now. So if you're not playing defense, then you're going to make the rotation. So that's definitely been the vocal point for us.
Message sent and received. I mean, obviously, you're going to put it out there and really attack on the defensive end tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I play defense anyway, but I definitely have to be more aggressive on defense.
And you're matched up against a very tough inside presence tonight, and Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, those two guys. What do they bring, and how difficult is it to stop them?
It's physicality. They're physical at all times. You got to keep them off the glass, keep them away from the hoop. And when Blake's hitting threes, there's really nothing you can do. So we definitely just want to be physical with them. Like I said, just our vocal point, keep our vocal point on defense.
Always a pleasure, Miles. Thanks so much for being here. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Get a win.
Yes, let's get a win. Let's close out this homestand on a positive note before we head to Boston on Sunday. For Miles Bridges, for Matt Rachinsky, I'm Erin Pitzenberger. We're going to throw to the 30th anniversary series. This features Michael Jordan and the Bulls losing against the Hornets, and this started the 9-year sellout streak for the Hornets. Let's take a look.
Here it is, last game before Christmas. And as we know, on a date like December 23rd, everybody's in town. If you've got relatives in Charlotte or whatnot, you're in town. This year probably more than ever because A, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls are going to be in town on December 23rd. I bet you I can score a ticket because nobody ever thought about the Hornets playing in the NBA.
Listen, everybody was coming to watch us. Everyone was coming to watch Michael.
Well, here's the guy generally regarded as the best player in basketball history, coming back to his home state, coming to Charlotte. and it was just electric. It was, people were so excited.
We knew it was on national TV. It was a lot of, first time for a lot of us to be on national TV, but it didn't, I don't think it changed how nervous or how we got up for that game. Just knowing that you're going to play the Bulls, you got to be ready to play.
It's an opportunity on national television to remind yourself of what happened opening night. You lost by 40. You don't want to do that. So I think it was an opportunity not only for our crowd to put Charlotte on the map in front of a national audience, and they show well. It's an opportunity for our team.
You're playing against the Bulls, it's exciting, especially when you're on your home floor and you got screaming fans, and it's Christmas time, the atmosphere was there. Miss Jordan and Mr. Jordan was in the house because they were season ticket holders. And it was special for us.
As any player, you want to be put in competitive environments, and that was going to be a great competitive environment. It's going to be a sold-out arena, people coming in to cheer on Michael, and rightfully so, hometown favorite, championship player, so it was going to be a good competitive situation for us.
It's a big game. Anytime back then when you had Michael coming to town, you had Larry Bird and you had Magic coming to town. Even the Sixers with Barkley, they were big rivals for us. And so anytime those superstars came to town, the fans wanted to see them. That was their first time seeing them. So it's one of those things where you play national TV, you got to play good, because if not, you'll get embarrassed.
The Bulls always got everybody's best shot, and we knew it was going to take a perfect game for us to beat them. And
the Bulls hadn't gone on their run of winning championships, but it was Michael Jordan. He was leading the NBA in scoring. He had an air to him when he walked in a building, and he was greatness. He was the best player I probably ever saw play. Coming in as a visitor to our buildings.
And I remember our teammates saying, let Michael's first game back in North Carolina, let's don't let him get 60 on us, okay? Let's try to keep the game close and keep him, in the 30-point range, because we knew he was fired up to come back and play.
We were definitely hyped up for that game. Obviously, Chicago at the time was probably a little tired on a road trip. We don't have to worry about the Hornets, and Michael will win this game by himself, being back in this arena, but we played really well.
Every night we went out and tried to play, so we played hard every night. That was one thing. If you came in to play against us, we were going to compete and we were going to play hard. That was a given.
Michael was having a great night. He was in the 30s. We were hanging in there. The game, I don't think, ever got out of reach more than 10 points, and some things rolled the Hornets' way in the second half.
We played okay. I played horrible. I had a bad game, so it's kind of frustrating for me, but
And now we get down to the final moment, and that place was alive.
Despite them being an expansion team, they had an exceptional home court advantage.
Obviously the play, Dick Carter loved Kelly Tripucka. The play was to post up Kelly and get him a one-on-one. Looks like the Bulls took that away. Tim Kempton improvised.
Robert Reed, who ended up taking a shot, he missed it, and I grab a rebound. And somehow Tim Kempton, he always seems to be in the way. I got the rebound, he's right underneath me. I remember trying to push him just to get out of the way and go up and put the ball up, and it went off just as the buzzer was going off.
Finds Reed, 2 on the shot clock, partially blocked, tip no, Rambus again. It's good, Hornets win! Hornets win it, 103-101 on Kurt Rambus's tip in at the buzzer.
The stadium went crazy, the fans went crazy, Dick Carter went crazy.
When Kirk tipped that thing in, it was like battle. We was really, beyond ourselves, overwhelmed, and it was just a great team victory. We all enjoyed that day.
Oh, it was chaos, organized chaos for a play like that, to beat a team like that, and then to win in that type fashion.
We were able to upset them, while these guys at the time, they're just trying to get past Detroit now. So it was a really cool win for us. You kidding me? We didn't have many of those.
You just weren't sure you were going to win, and here we beat them on a tip-in. It was, I ran around crazy. It was a lot of fun. It was like winning a playoff game or something. But I can still remember the tip-in. I can still seeing him run around after the game, and I remember us taking the ball and getting it painted and giving it to him.
Anytime you have a 20-win season, you get one win, it seems like a championship environment. We were ecstatic. You could still hear the roar of the crowd out there, and everybody was jumping up and down. We were really happy about it. So but we got really lucky there at the end.
He tipped the ball up, it went in, it was an instinct on his part. He's that type of player, and that's what he did for the Lakers for many, many years. And to see him do that for the Hornets when they needed it.
Well, we all went crazy. I mean, it was absolutely like we had won a championship or something that night. But that gave us, confidence, knowing that we can compete against teams in this league. And, like you talked about, you don't know what to expect when you get an expansion team. You don't know how it's going to match together. But I know we had guys that were extremely hard workers. And Kurt Rambis was definitely one of them.
It was a terrific environment for fans to come out, see us, get a hometown win. So it catapulted that whole consecutive sellout environment for the Charlotte Hornets.
And after the game, Dick Harter walked up to the podium, had this massive smile on his face, and looked into the cameras and said, "Charlotte, this is your Christmas present."
Beating those guys was like an early Christmas present, and that really just sort of propelled us, gave us that momentum, which really, ended up starting that streak.
It was a special night because of that victory and the timing of it. It was right around Christmas time. We about to put some smiles on our kids' face, and and here it is. We got a smile on the adults' face because of the things that we just accomplished in terms of beating the Bulls.
And we'd won a game or two before that, but to beat the Bulls and to beat an iconic sort of hero in our state, MJ had done everything at the University of North Carolina when they won the national championship. So to sort of beat him, we always said it was, people wanted Michael to score 50 points and we win the game by 1, And so I think we won the game that night by 2 points. I'm not sure how many points he scored, but it was a great night to beat the Bulls.
I think that brought us even more fans after that. They realized that the Hornets are a pretty good team, and we were underdogs, so we shocked the whole country, I think, that time.
And that changed the dynamic, that changed the trajectory. If the team had been ascending slowly, it wasn't like that. Suddenly, you could not get tickets. Everybody wanted to be there to see the next upset, like the one over the Bulls. And it really, more than any other thing that happened that year, it changed things.
But after we beat the Bulls, it just changed. It was everybody wanted to be at the games.
And after that point, we never had to worry about selling a ticket.
That was the night that you said you are not going to get a ticket anytime soon to any Hornets game, no matter who they're playing, and that's exactly how it worked out for a very long time.
That was a good night. Fun locker room after the game, fun night to go out. And it was definitely a night where I don't think any player bought a meal. That happened a lot during the first couple of seasons. We'd go out to eat after the game, a couple of us, and we never bought a meal here. So it was a fun time that night.
It was a lot of fun to be a part of that and to be there in the locker room. The players were fired up. We were winning only 20 games that year, but we were playing in front of 23,700, I think it's one, if I remember correct, fans every night after that game against the Bulls. And it didn't matter if it was bad weather, it didn't matter if we had lost 10 games in a row. People were coming to the games.
It opened up the floodgates for the franchise. Our phones went crazy. We had to stop selling season tickets. We wanted to save some tickets for the general public so that we could create new fans rather than just have a private club. So we saved a couple of thousand tickets to sell to the general public and stopped season ticket sales at around 22,000 people.
I thought it made it official. The Hornets are officially here. Watch what they can do. Watch them beat the team with the best player in basketball on it. Watch. And after that, and there was just this scurrying and this desire to be part of it. I mean, people want to be part of the new team, but this gave the new team credibility, and people really wanted to be tied to that.
Those sellouts were important because even in Los Angeles a few years earlier, when we had won championships, we still weren't selling out the arena. So for them to sell out in that small town, in that environment, was a huge amount of success for the Hornets at that time.